Remember, the members of parliament cares about the money. Why they are pushing to go to do the vetting is all about the money, because they'll be given sitting allowances, they'll be given commissions, but even some of them will be bribed so that they can pass this name as is. Even today we saw something really shocking, that they are already requesting for 57 billion shillings to run IEBC. So we're asking, if they are not commissioners, who is requesting for this money? Our freedom was not fought so that someone captures the state, capture all institutions of the state and use them the way they want. We want a free and fair election, and it begins with the selection process of the commissioners.
Is that we are concerned as the new generation aspirants, NGA. We've been receiving shocking news from the controller of budget on how public resources are being mismanaged and how there is a lot of wastage in the public sector. What happens in the case that the petitioners actually win in the court? That will mean that the monies that have been spent in the vetting process will go to waste. And the good thing about us is it does not matter as long as the process is fraudulent.
We are saying reject the commissioners.
Yeah.
Reject the commissioners. So that now we as NGA, we are new generation aspirants who want to see change in this country.
I'm Professor Fred Ogola. I'm one of the leaders of NGA, and we are here with part of the National Executive Council of NGA. We are here to issue a very important statement regarding the process of the election, which has already begun. And it's even more important step. Today we were in court with other petitioners regarding the selection process of the current IEBC commissioners and chair. We had gone to court saying that this process was unconstitutional. It was also unprocedural for one reason, that they sneaked in a name of another commissioner after the gazettement. The other thing was that this IEBC select panel was constituted after the NADCO report, which required concurrence and also consultation with other players. Why did the fathers of the Constitution saw the need to consult with your competitors? So that you can be able to ensure the election process is transparent, is fair, and free for everybody. So we are finding a situation that if this the selection panel was to get away with the commissioners and the chairs they are proposed, we might end up with IEBC, which is not going to take care of other players. Remember, NGA is a new generation leaders, new generation aspirants, who also have a stake in this election. And we cannot go through an election process that we are not involved in. We are not involved, and we are key players. We also saw that NADCO report gave the authority that William Ruto and the Azimio were supposed to have consultations between them and concurrence. But so long as Raila Odinga crossed over and joined government in the so-called broad-based government, we do not know whether William Ruto consulted Raila. So we want to ask in this press statement, was Raila Odinga consulted? And we want to ask Raila Odinga, could you please clarify to us whether you are consulted? And if you were consulted, as soon as you cross over and is now part of the broad-based government, is that still legitimate? Or it is possible that you are not consulted, and also even if you are consulted, it is irrelevant because you are working with the same government that people are saying needs to go home. And if we now look at the other remaining part of the opposition, the members of Azimio, like Alonzo Musyoka, he put it clearly that he was not consulted. So we are not asking, is that process now legitimate? Because NADCO report was born out of the strike that took place, that many people lost their lives. Secondly, these people met in Bomas for at least a month. They spent taxpayers' money coming up with that report. The report was taken to Parliament. MPs took commissions, took sitting allowances to debate it and pass it. And then it was launched in KICC using public funds. Yet now the implementation, it is not considered. So we are wondering why that is the case. But what is more interesting today is about the ruling. Justice Mugambi has ruled that we have been given conservatory orders, that the vetting process in Parliament continues. The only thing which cannot be done before the case is heard and determined is the gazettement of the appointed IEBC commissioners, and 2, taking oath of office. Now, as concerned Kenyans like us at NGA, our concern is when these members of parliament want to do vet, what is the hurry? How do you want to go to vet somebody whom you know that there is a case in court challenging the appointment? What if the case is won by us? Is it trying to be prejudicial to us that the case might not be won? Remember, the members of parliament cares about the money. Why they are pushing to go to do the vetting is all about the money, because they'll be given sitting allowances, they'll be given commissions, but even some of them will be bribed so that they can pass this name as is. Remember that these people is all about the money. Even today we saw something really shocking, that they are already requesting for 57 billion shillings to run IEBC. So we're asking, if there are no commissioners, who is requesting for this money? Because some of us took even some petitions to IEBC, and we are told they cannot be received because there are no commissioners. But how comes documents they can receive, but money is more important they can pass? I'm telling you, Kenyans, let us wake up, stand with NGA in what we are trying to say, that this is not a country that actually our forefathers fought for. Our freedom was not fought so that someone captures the state, capture all institutions of the state and use them the way they want. We want a free and fair election, and it begins with the selection process of the commissioners. What we are telling William Ruto, we cannot trust to go to an election with you when you have self-appointed the referee. A player cannot self-appoint the referee and then tell us that the play field will be free and fair. They'll be having what they call the 12th player, which is the referee. There should be 11 players, not the 12th player. That is an advantage against us. Thank you.
So as my colleague in NGA has said, is that we are concerned as the new generation aspirants, NGA, because as he has said, the court has given a go-ahead to the parliament to continue with the vetting process. We've been receiving shocking news from the controller of budget on how public resources are being mismanaged and how there is a lot of wastage in the public sector. And now they've already given a go-ahead to the parliament to continue with the vetting process. That means that the public is going to lose and use resources. What happens in the case that the petitioners actually win in the court? That will mean that the monies that have been spent in the vetting process will go to waste. And therefore, we as the concerned citizens of this country and key stakeholders in the politics of this country, we want to ask that it's high time that this country, actually civil servants, started using the public resources prudently. Because as we stand, or as it stands in this country, we cannot afford to mismanage the little resources that we have. You've been seeing what they've been talking about, that actually we've been paying for penalties because of the loans that we procured without a plan on how we are going to actually spend the loans. And now we are going deeper and deeper into debts. We are going deeper and deeper into the pockets of the people, demanding for taxes that are not used prudently. So we will stand and rise against any attempt by any civil offices to misuse public resources. And the good thing about us is it does not matter as long as the process is fraudulent. We are going to the streets. We are going to hold them accountable in the public courts, which are the streets. So we are watching keenly as things evolve. We know they are in the scheme of running down the economy of this country. We know that it's all about looting and looting badly. They do not have public interest at heart at all. And that's why they are doing things without actually concurrence from the larger population.
Hello viewers, my name is Dr. Ben Gigi. I'm here with the NGA. I'm a member of the Secretariat. We are here just to announce our plea against the government that has violated the regulations that the court has ruled against the selection of the IEBC commissioners. We have seen in the past and in the present that the government has put in their people there so that they are able to manipulate the results of their election. We have seen relationships in between the commissioners and the politicians. In fact, the chairperson is related to one of the senior government officials. We have seen also the commissioners, especially the ones that have been mentioned, have been sneaked into the process even after the bus has taken off. So we are saying these commissioners, they need to be vetted properly, even through the due process of public participation. And if we find that these commissioners will not perform a fair election, we are saying reject.
Yeah.
We are saying reject the commissioners.
Yeah.
Reject the commissioners. So that now we as NGA, we are new generation aspirants who want to see change in this country. And if we have such commissioners in government, how will we get free and fair elections? We have also seen, and there are rumors, shocking rumors, that the government wants to stop the live streaming of the election that we normally see on the TVs. That one we also say reject, because that one will give the Kenyans blackout and will not be able to see the results that are streaming in, and the process will not be free and fair for every Kenyan. Also, the last point is the finances that are being used, the budget for the Iebc. The government is very keen to use the money to give the budget for the Iebc, and they are not keen to pay the pending bills of the common mwananchi. We have seen in the current past that businesses are closing down. We have seen even yesterday there are so many businesses around this city of Nairobi that are closing down. We are seeing movers, those vehicles moving people from their offices. Those are businesses that are closing down. We have seen even factories, manufacturers closing shop from Kenya, and they are going into Tanzania and they are going into Uganda. So we are asking the government to focus on the mwananchi, to focus on employment of the young people, to focus on the employment of Kenyans instead of over focusing on the Iebc budgets. Let the president like Mwai Kibaki, who focused on bringing funds to the people and focusing his economic agenda in the interest of Wanjiku, in the interest of the border person. Let us not focus more on corruption, on giving budgets to the same people, their cronies, who will loot the funds from the common mwananchi. So we are saying reject the Iebc processes and reject the commissioners. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So